So you've been listening to the show all day.
I have been.
You feel prepared?
More than prepared.
More than prepared. And you watched the episode very recently too.
Yeah, I actually watched it twice because I was so
Because you had
dumbfounded by
to.
it. I was so dumbfounded by it.
I cannot believe it. It's it's insane.
I knew it was going
Oh
to
my
go
god.
over a lot of sexual fetishes, but
I
Stockholm
didn't
Syndrome
know
wasn't one I was thinking it was going to go over.
kidnapping and psychological torture was gonna be.
Yeah,
And it's only halfway through the show.
I know, right? We still got a little bit of this arc to go.
I can't believe it. Yeah, he didn't even bang the little girl. Anyway, I should. Anyway, I should introduce the show real quick. Welcome everybody to the 6th episode of the Conception Nutcast. I am, of course, your host, Colonel Panic, and with me today, very special guest and birthday boy, Rice Bowl.
It's good to be here, Panic.
It's good to have you. Have had a nice birthday?
So far so good.
So far, so good. Well, that's all you can ask for, really.
Yep.
Like, as you get older. And what a gift to be getting on this day. This episode of Conception. And you get to be on the show. What I do for my friends.
Oh man.
You get a episode of Bunny Girl later, so that's good.
It's Bunny Girl Wednesday, my dudes.
It's Bunny Girl Wednesday, my dude. It's a little palate cleanser later on.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, what an insane episode to be talking about. But first, like, how do you feel about the show so far?
Well, I knew going in that it would be absolutely terrible, so it's everything I expected it to be, and more. And surprisingly, it's not the worst anime of the season.
No,
surprisingly.
Somehow there's a show that has it beat that I dropped. Sunday, I think, or maybe last week, Ulysses.
Oh man, it's so bad.
It's so bad. And I was, oh my, I mean, we're starting out very true to form here with a tangent.
Yes.
Which is Ulysses is horrible.
Oh man, everything about it, the character writing, the plot, it's just so bad.
There is one good character design as the mercenary leader girl, but she's just like dark skin and huge tits. But she's not in the show very much anymore, so why even watch? Now it's just this wizard man making out with a lolly.
The entire time.
In the entire time. Not for me.
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea. I was so upset with this episode, dude. Because I had to watch this last night, like at midnight, because I didn't have time to watch it after getting home today because we had to start early.
Yeah.
So I watched it it was like 1 a.m. and I was done and I had to go to sleep and I was just mad. I couldn't sleep. I was so outraged.
Oh man, everything about it was so bad.
It's like not only there's like two girls in focus this week. The one you think is going to be the focus, Colette, the Aquarius girl, who is like I have her tagged as the Omega Lolly, like one of the lollier lollies.
Yeah, she does look more lolly than the rest.
She's very childlike, and they really play that up in the beginning, which is very creepy.
Yeah, talking about her being like everybody's little sister.
Everybody's little sister, and doing like they started out pretty fun. They have some good gags every once in a while, like Masterpiece Theater, where it's like the fucking raccoon, of course, narrating her like, "Oh, I think kids are brought in by the stork and dropped in a cabbage field, and tra la la. I'm so innocent."
The Dumbo effect.
The Dumbo effect, yeah. And then they're spying on her. And MC, for the first time, is like voicing concern with banging one of these girls because she's so innocent.
Yeah, he's like,
he doesn't want...
Do I have to be the one to defile her?
Do I have to be the one? And then Raccoon is like, yes.
He's like, you've already defiled all these other women.
You've
Why
already
not?
defiled 7 others, 2 of which were arguably also kids. A fucking shut-in, scarred girl dying with a disease. You banged and left her too.
Yes.
Why is this one different? Alright, so transitions into OP, and then he's at the bakery, just immediately getting in.
Yeah,
just
immediately.
Got anything heavy I can lift?
He's like, I brought the flour in. Anything else?
I want to help you because I like being here in this bakery.
I
And
love.
she's
She immediately questions him about it. Like, are you here because you can be, or are you doing it because you want to have a star child with me? And he's like,
yes,
no, yes, but no.
yeah, that was great. I had paused the episode to write down how stupid it is that he's pretending to not be there to have a kid, and then when I played it back, it cut to her just going, "You're here because you want to fuck me, right?" And him being like, "No." I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of.
And then she's happy about it. She's like, oh, good, you're honest.
Oh, good. At least you're honest about it. Well, first he lied, so how? Okay, good for you. What the fuck ever? Bake some bread. God damn. They managed the shop and there's no customers at all.
Oh, she can't get any ever since her grandfather passed away. Or
And
not
I
passed
guess
away, but I guess he's
he's
sick.
sick. He's ill, and she bakes nice bread or whatever, but no one comes to buy it. So Ari and the cousin come by to buy some, and then MC is like, "Oh, this is great. We're gonna have 1 million customers." No, they came there because they're your friend.
It's like they know who you are. That's why they came.
They know you're here. They know you're trying to fuck this one now. They're here to help you.
They're gonna help you get it.
They bought pity bread to cheer you up.
2 bags full, to be precise.
Yeah. Oh my god, so much bread. People eat a lot of bread in this episode. It's just the best bread, I guess.
It seems like that's all they eat in this world is bread.
And
that's all I've seen people eat.
And they just refer to it as bread. Like it's not cakes. It's not like
there's no spices or anything to it. It's all just bread.
Bread. I love me some bread. And then again, there's like a drought in customers. And then the trainer lady, Alfie, I learned her name is.
Yeah, Alfie.
Comes in with the 13th Zodiac, as Nyx revealed last time.
Yes.
Incredible reveal.
We were all astonished.
That was amazingly spotted, because that hairpin is tiny and almost the same color as her hair.
Yeah, good call on Nyx. I have not
seen it. That's insane. She comes in with all the kids, and we finally get to see the kids do something besides fight and die.
Yeah,
and
they get to eat bread.
They get to eat bread, and they're very excited to get to eat bread. And then some gangsters come in, and they're like, "No, you can't sell me bread, huh? We run this other bakery. We make these lunch packs or whatever. And they're so much better, and they're outselling you. Fuck you. Your bread sucks."
I love how the MC, every time someone new comes into the scene, he's like, who are you? And then everybody knows but him.
Yeah. Well, that's the same with the beach episode where the guy drove up next to them.
Yes.
And who the fuck is that? And everybody else is like, "Oh, he's this asshole." But I guess that's like, he's from another world. I don't know how long he's been here. But they're pretty neat designs, the devils. But
yeah.
Then they're pretty cool. Probably taken straight from the game, I would assume. Not a whole lot of animation going on with them, but I guess that's for the best, because when this show tries to animate, it looks horrible.
Stay away from them animating. Just move mouths and stuff like that.
Go the Food Wars route.
Yeah,
just
bare minimum.
Do panning shots and mouth movements. This would look so much better if they just did that. There's like a scene of, I think, the little girl feeding him some bread, but they edit it so that she puts the bread up to his mouth, and then they cut to him already having eaten it. So they didn't have to animate her pushing it into the mouth.
Isn't that great?
It's just hop. Super quick. Yeah. The kids scare them off. And it's like this whole episode is like a comment on big industry and monopolization and why it's bad.
Oh, I love how one of the kids is like, "We're not kids, I'm cancer."
I'm cancer.
He just screams at him.
Yeah, that's it. What's the difference?
Yeah, and that's how the MC sees progression in their strength is by talking shit to older big corp.
Yeah, not them fighting, but just them talking shit and scaring off 2 big demons. I don't get why they run. The little kids are just assaulting them like with words, but they're little kids. I wonder, I have to wonder if in some previous cut they were like beaten up or something. I don't know.
They could sense their power level.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume they've grown in power because they've apparently been dungeon diving every day, getting further and further. Like, I guess we're supposed to assume that.
I mean, we've seen absolutely like no combat, and we're 6 episodes in. So
yeah, last episode had him one shot at boss in the beginning. This episode has nothing. Okay, so he's like, "Is there a reason why your bakery isn't selling anything?" And it's because of these fucking lunch packs. And then the raccoon comes in with like, "Hey, FYI." That company is owned by the dad of this other maiden you have to fuck.
The Leo.
The Leo, Femiruna. I was like, maybe you can convince her to do something. So he goes there and he tries. For some reason, she trips. I guess.
He's like restraining her a little bit, like kind of holding her wrist. And I guess as she pulls away, she trips over herself.
She trips and slowly falls and bangs the back of her head on a table.
Convenient, if you ask me. Convenient, if you ask me.
Yeah, very convenient. Otherwise, he'd have to knock her out himself. Because what comes next is that she wakes up in a dark room.
And it's even worse because the raccoon's like, well, we can't let anybody know about this because if you hit a maiden, that could be punishable by death.
Oh, I had a note about that too. That's the stupidest thing. He's the visitor. He's there to save them.
He said despite you being the visitor, this could happen.
Yeah, you could be punished by death for hurting a maiden. But then the hero would be dead. They'd be killing the hero they summoned.
Exactly. I don't...
For... It comes back to how it's like everybody is these weird disposable people. Like the girls are literally disposable. They're there to have a kid and then just not be used anymore.
That's it.
It's 2018. It's a very it's a very progressive show. Oh my god. All right. So she wakes up in a dark room and in comes clearly the MC with a bag over his head and one eye hole cut out.
It's the reverse trick. Rather than bagging her head, he bagged his own.
He bagged his own. Like somehow because they reveal that this is like the back room of the little girl's bakery, so they somehow carried her there.
I mean, they jumped out of a 2-story window in the first place, so that's what caught my attention.
I missed that. I must have missed that. But I would assume the mansion is pretty close to the shop then, because like if you can be punished by death for like hurting one, what's the punishment for kidnapping? Like knocking out and then kidnapping across town a noble lady. Whatever. She gets a bag of bread by the masked MC, who says she can't understand the thing he says. But he's saying, but we get these subtitles, and it's like, "Oh, I'm worried about you. Here, eat." So you have to take care of yourself. Take care of herself? You kidnapped her. She would be fine if you hadn't done this. You're not saving her. What the fuck?
It's like, I want to take care of you, even though I took you here against your will.
I cannot believe. And like that, this is the part in the notes where I write down, "Oh my god, are they gonna fucking Stockholm Syndrome seduce her?" And then yes,
you were exactly right.
That's exactly what they did, because the raccoon even says it. Like he got this advice from someone he calls Mr. Stockholm.
He calls him Stockholm Sama.
At least that's what Stockholm Sama told me. This is not okay.
No.
This is fucking illegal.
Oh man, I did not think that this show was going to take any route in this direction.
It's so dark. Because like they cut to her, like I would assume days and days of staying in this dank ass dark room with no bed, no clothes to change, and no bathroom. And he takes out old bread, comes in with new. She refuses to eat it. You see the little girl go back and forth and get supplies.
Yeah, the Aquarius is just going back and forth, still getting flour and things like that from the back room.
So she's 100% complicit in this. She knows it. like it's kind of implied that Femiruna doesn't notice the little girl. Like every time she comes in, she turns around because she's like, "No, I won't eat the bread. No." So she curls up in like defiance or whatever. So I kind of think she didn't see Colette, but Colette 100% saw Femiruna.
It seemed like she was okay with it.
And she's making bread for her. This fucking bread.
So what happens if a maiden kidnaps another maiden? Is that punishable by death?
I would assume so. Because, like, if they're not scared of killing the visitor, why would they be scared of killing the maidens? The maidens are worthless without the visitor.
You're right.
Like, insofar that they're still members of society, but they have a role.
To make star
they
children.
They have a job to do. And, like, I think in episode 2, when he meets all of them, they all seem like they know that, okay, this is the visitor, you're the maidens, you're gonna have to make star children. And they're all in a circle saying hi and doing introductions, I'm this and this. But now they're all like, are you trying to fuck me?
It's like,
what are you doing, man?
Did you just come here to do your deed with me? It's like, I believe this was my job.
I believe this is what I have to do to go home. I mean, I do not have a choice in this. I mean, I guess he has a choice. He could just stay.
He could just stay there forever. But wouldn't that world
he could stay
be
there
doomed?
forever? But then the world is also doomed. So you could like stay there for maybe a year and then die.
Well, we'll have to find out.
Find out next time. They had a shot that reminded me. It's very unfortunate, and I'm thinking I'm gonna be using it as the thumbnail for this video. It's the shot of her lying on the floor, like close up of her face, like dead eyes.
My exact reaction watching.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's like, yeah, same TBH, but it reminded me of some shots from the first episode of Goblin Slayer, where the girls are just broken, and. In a lot of ways, I honestly found this episode more, like, less shocking, but more offensive than the Goblin rape from Goblin Slayer.
I think I could agree with that.
Because this is the hero. This is the main character doing it.
Yeah, it's not the bad guy. It's not what you would call the evil, which was the goblins and Goblin Slayer. This is the good goblins, guy.
Maybe, yeah, I mean, one can argue that it was framed badly or whatever, but the goblins rape a chick because they're goblins and they're bad. This is the main character. This is our hero.
and he's trusting the raccoon, who has done nothing but awful ideas the entire show.
He is absolutely horrible, and apparently, I mean, I guess we can. I don't want to excuse it, but it seems like Itsuki is just doing whatever the raccoon is telling him, and the raccoon got the idea from Stockholm Sama.
I hope we get to meet Stockholm Sama in the next episode, so we can see what this guy looks like. Because I bet you he's
Swedish
a
chef. Pork. So I'm thinking Itsuki is somehow too stupid to know that this is bad. But you know what? I'm not even gonna give him that. This is reprehensible. I was so mad they went here. I would not be surprised if next week they spike a girl's drink or whatever. Just date rape someone.
Well,
because he got some advice from Mr. Cosby-sama.
Mr. Cosby-sama. I mean, they're hitting all the edges when it comes to kinks. They got the little sister, they got the cousin, they have the BDSM. So
they have the BDSM. They didn't really have, well, yeah, I guess she turned out to be just BDSM. She seemed like she would be an Onesan. But I guess they already did that kind of with the nurse.
Yeah, the nurse was more Onesan.
The nurse turned out to be the Onesan. And the dancer, kind of. She called herself Onesan.
Yeah.
So they got those out of the way real quick. But this show has so many little girls.
4 of them, it seems like.
4 of them. I think I had 4 or 5. I guess definitions vary. I think the very first note I have for this one is, time for the Omega Lolly, can we not? But then the show didn't. He didn't end up fucking her this episode. I'm assuming he will soon.
I mean, whatever it really is, because one episode It looks like they're totally banging. And then the next episode, you get like a nice shoulder touch, and then it's done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, this episode didn't do a whole lot to define what the act actually is, because it seems to vary. But I mean, they didn't have a bed scene with Colette.
We had a bed scene last
We had a bed scene
episode
with Leo.
with Arie, and we saw nothing from that other than him get her heel in his ass.
She stepped in his asshole. That's right.
That's all we've seen. We got no Star Children out of it. It seems like.
But I would assume that every time they go to that bed, that's because that's the ritual bed. That's where it happens.
That's where babies are made. Only in that bed. Or sorry,
That's
not
literally
babies. They're Star
where-
Children. They're not babies at
Star
all.
children, little dolls. That is where the magic happens.
Literal magic.
The literal magic, and sometimes sex, sometimes not. Who the fuck knows what they even do? I mean, I think after this episode, I'm down to like a 2 for this show.
I think I don't ever rate anime before I finish it, so I have a hard time actually saying this. But after this past episode, I want to give it a 1.
Right? Like, it was so horrible, and I feel like the animation quality and shit is just dropping through the roof.
And that's bad, considering there was no animation quality to begin with.
They had one piece of smooth animation this episode, and that's where he tosses the raccoon into the sky, and they reused it 3 times.
They did.
And then the third time, I like that. It did like an echoey, "I'll be back." As it flew into the sky.
Yeah, I did like that. That was kind of funny.
I'll be back. I like that. Like, any levity of this, like, I guess there's a lot of levity. There's a lot of attempts at comedy. I guess the whole thing about the raccoon being there is supposed to be funny, but it makes me mad.
Most of the time, it's just annoying.
Yeah, 99% of the time. It had one good moment in episode 4 where it built the coffin. That was it.
That was cool. I enjoyed that.
The shot where they pan to the branch and he's sitting there dressed like a bird. That was funny.
Yeah.
Him fingering the gay guy at the beach.
That was the greatest
unexpected.
thing. His trunks flew off.
He got a massage so good that his trunks flew off.
I think I need that in my life right about now.
Right? And then, on your birthday. And then the Gemini girl reset time and the raccoon did it again, but even more.
Yes.
I guess. I had no idea what happened that episode. It's all just such a clusterfuck.
All of it runs together in my mind. Every episode was the same one for me.
It's kind of like Sorrow recently watched Monster Musume, which is like my favorite ecchi show ever and one of my favorite animes ever. And he pointed out that the show is nothing but character introductions, and I'd never thought of that. I guess I like that. I don't mind if they're introducing characters all the time, as long as they're funny and have personalities. But this show is just all character introductions, but they're rushed and bad. And then we almost never see the character again.
It's like very few of the characters in this show you've even seen a glimpse of their personality, let alone any development or progress with the character.
We got like the entire episode 4 was dedicated to Fish Girl, which I liked. I liked her. She had like a thing going on. She was sick. She was a shut-in. She was an artist.
I mean,
things happen.
Yeah, she was the more fun character out of all the characters that we've seen so far, in my opinion.
And then Ari got a bunch of like screen time split across episodes, and then they just ruined her last episode, which made me angry.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that, Panic. I knew that meant a lot to you.
Rip the dream. I'm honestly having trouble predicting where this show is going to go, because they're going through the girls so fast. I think we're done with like 8 or 9 of them now. 8, I think.
Well, yeah,
And
and after the ritual that we had in episode 5, and then we see no Star Children being made, immediately into them stalking to a girl that they identify as a little sister to everybody. I don't think I could ever predict where this show is going next.
no, but my point is that at some point, because they're going to be running out of girls soon, they have, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 girls left. And then maybe Alfie, so 5 if we're lucky. And there's 6 episodes left, and they do 2 at a time sometimes, like 2 per episode. At some point, they're gonna have to do a plot, and we get like hints of that at the very end of this one. It's like they pan down onto the dungeon, and we see some garbage.
It's almost like it's like rumbling or something in the.
Yeah, something is stirring beneath the dungeon, and then it cuts to. What is it? He's the blonde. Not the pervert blonde guy, but the king's right hand blonde guy, Narcissus or something.
I call him library guy.
Library man. And he's reading bookman. And he's reading a book, and he looks concerned, and then fade to ED or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, what could be happening? But at this point, like, I have 2 predictions. One of them I've said before, and it's that they're going to have an orgy and they're going to make the most ultimate Star Child ever. And I still hope that's going to come true. The second one, with, like, the deterioration of the art quality and animation, is I don't think this show might just get cancelled.
I wouldn't be very shocked if this show just gets cancelled halfway through.
Because there's fucking nothing in it. It's so bare bones now. I would not be surprised if it just stopped at episode 10, or like the last couple got postponed, like with Beatless and, well, with Mädchen, they just stopped it. I don't think the last episodes ever came out.
Mm-hmm.
The same happened with, there was a 7 Deadly Sins show that's not 7 Deadly Sins, but like a porn version. It's called Sin Nanatsu na Taisai, whatever. It went on hiatus at episode 10 too, or something. I'm halfway predicting that the same is gonna happen here, because it looks so bad.
I can't predict where this show is going in the future with how little maidens we have left to go through, and this only being episode 6. As you and Sorrow were talking about, that this show couldn't possibly be more than 12 or 13 episodes. That's definitely the route that it's going to be.
Right.
But I don't know what they could fill these next 6 episodes, 7 episodes with to make this to run together.
6 or 7. Oh, it breaks my mind that there might be 13 or more.
Oh, I hope there isn't.
I hope to God there isn't, for their own sake. Like, they don't have the content. Unless all of a sudden it becomes the most epic shit ever. I can't. It's like, once all the girls were introduced in Monster Musume, they just had hijinks. That's all I want. I just want to see them fuck around. It's like, this is a dude and his 12 harem girls. Can I just see them do shit? I don't care about them dungeon crawling. It's so unnecessary.
I mean, especially when we don't see any of it. We get to see him one shot a boss, and then get his ass whooped a little bit before that. And then that's all we get to see.
A show that had great dungeon crawling was Danmachi. Did you ever see that?
I have not.
Yeah. It was one of the first shows I watched when I started watching anime seriously, and I loved it.
I guess I
thought it was great.
I'll have to check it out.
Looking at it now, it's obviously got flaws, but I got in early. I wasn't tainted yet.
Yes.
by other bad anime. So I was just like, yay! They're fighting monsters underground with swords and whatever.
This is entertaining.
My little nerd heart just, yay, it's Skyrim, but anime. Woo-hoo. And they're making a season 2, and I'm excited. That's good. That's good dungeon crawling, and it's almost the same concept. It's like, oh, there's a labyrinth under the city.
Except they're actually doing something with the labyrinth and under the city.
Yeah. Yeah, except they go down and they go deeper and deeper, and
do the monsters and stuff get harder as they go deeper and deeper?
They do. How did you guess?
I don't know.
How did you know?
I don't know. It's a weird concept to
'cause-
grasp, but
Is it because the raccoon told you last episode that that's how it works?
well, see, I was taking a shot in the dark, thinking that maybe it took off the VN for this game or for this anime,
Oh, yes.
and put it into its own, and then now this Conception is just following that.
Yeah. I want to play the game.
You said it was coming out for PS4, right?
I think they're remastering either the first one or making a sequel that's coming out for PS4, and I am very curious to see how it plays.
You have to let me know.
Because I think... Why do I think this? I think it might be an Atlas game, like the same people who make Persona 5. But now I think it's probably not. Having said it. Let me see here. Conception game. Conception video game. Developed by...
All right, looks like it's
Spike.
It's going to be a remaster with some extra content.
Ooh. Very exciting. It was a PSP game at first.
Yes, it was, and it looks like it was made in 2012 is when it was released.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Looking at the MC here, it reminds me how mind-boggling it is that Fimiruna couldn't tell it was him. Like that.
I mean, his attire doesn't change the entire show.
He has never changed his clothes, but the hat falls off, and she's like,
"Oh my goodness,
it's you!"
I had to see your face to notice.
It's not like I could tell by your stupid tie or scruffy shirt, dumb voice. No, the thing had to fall off. Oh, and then right as they're about to fuck, he puts the mask on again. Like, haha, remember when I was torturing you and tormenting you and starving you with wearing this? Haha. Good times.
It's like she's like turned on by it. That's the messed up part.
Well, no, she does like a pout. That's a quality pout too.
Yeah,
it looked very nice. And then she looks back at him like, "Oh, you, you rascal."
If I've learned anything from Conception, if I really, really want a girl, Stockholm Syndrome's the way to go.
Exactly. Just remember, if a girl is being super difficult, just kidnap her.
It's easy. She'll love you within a couple of days of starving and torture.
Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, you just have to starve her for days and days in a dark room with no bed. And she will let you bathe her, and then she'll fuck you.
Yes, you get the bather.
It's even more fucked up that... Oh my god. I keep thinking of things that's fucked up about this. The extra stupid thing is the reason they kidnap her, or go to her in the first place, is to make her tell her dad to tell the bakery to do something. I don't know. It's
essentially
the
like
bakery that
stop trying to go into this part of town so this girl can keep selling her bread.
But it's the big bakery that they make like mass produced these little packs of one piece of bread or whatever with a bunch of flavors, and they're monopolizing the bread market. And then they're like, oh, the owner's daughter is one of the Star Maidens. What the fuck is she supposed to do? Tell her dad to just stop producing bread? They're making a successful product. It's like the lesson isn't to make something that competes. The lesson is to kidnap the owner's daughter.
Never try to compete against big corporations. Just kidnap them.
Don't try to improve your product to such a degree that people will prefer it. Just kidnap someone. It's fucked up because it's also like I think we're supposed to sympathize with the main character because they spent like a second making it seem like she's for monopolization, and I guess we're supposed to think that's a villainous act. So like she's bad and she needs to be reformed. So this is okay. She's a bad person.
Although it absolutely has nothing to do with monopolizing and more to do with just making the star children.
Yeah.
I believe that's also the same bread that he gave Yuzuha that she used to used as an eraser.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the
I
same
think
thing.
and that's the episode where I was wondering, because that one they also just referred to it as bread, and I was like, you can just get a plain slice of bread in a packet.
Yeah, just a plastic package of bread. That's
of one slice of bread. I have never ever seen that.
It's good for the carbs.
Just like a slice of white bread. And back then they didn't even say anything about flavors. Like this one, we learned that they have all kinds of flavors.
Yes,
so,
we did learn
fine.
that they have flavors.
That's nice. Not filling, just flavored bread, I guess.
Yeah.
Delicious. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, a whole other reason it's fucked up is because she's the only girl he's romanced that's now gonna be in love with him.
Yes.
Right? Because she's been damaged, like psychological trauma, into thinking she loves him. And now he, like all the other girls, he's gonna leave her for someone else, but she's gonna be she's attached to him now.
Or, as seeing what the rest of the show has, they just won't focus on that at all, and it won't be a thing.
They will most likely just ignore it, but it would be cool if she became like a yandere or something. She becomes a fucking stalker, psychopath.
It would be nice for a little bit of spice.
It would be nice for some, yeah. It would spice things up a little bit, and it would show that maybe it's not okay to kidnap people, and maybe it can have repercussions.
Yes, do not kidnap people, or else they will come and try to kill you because they're in love with you.
Well, because they think they're in love with you, but you were just their only point of human contact while they were stuck in a dungeon.
Or in this case, a bread storage.
a storage room filled with like flour and bread supplies or whatever. Apparently not very hard to break out of either. There's a little trapdoor where the raccoon could look in.
Yeah, she looks out the back and there's nothing. There's no town. So she's like, where am I?
Where the fuck is this? I can't see anything.
If she would just peek her head out and look left and right, she would notice that there's just a bunch of houses next to it.
Yeah. She didn't even shout. Oh my god, I can't believe that. She didn't try to escape. She didn't try to call for help.
She was just like, no, this is a dead end. I can't go out there.
I'm just gonna stay here and not eat the bread they bring me for no apparent reason.
Oh, man.
I don't know why she wouldn't. And then
she said something about dignity in it, which I don't know what dignity has to do with eating bread.
I have no idea.
To not
Maybe it's
starve.
the dignity of eating someone else's bread. Like she's so devoted to the lunch packs or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's food. Just eat it.
Yeah, don't starve.
And he keeps coming in there and talking about... Yeah, what?
I don't remember her talking anything about it like possibly being poisoned or something that could like knock her out again.
No.
She just like... it.
She's just stubborn.
Yes.
I did like that part of her character, that she's like that's like an archetype, I guess, like the stuck-up, bratty, rich girl.
Yeah.
That was cute. I mean, it's a character trope, but it's something.
Hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of that being played on in the next episode, but knowing how the show is,
nah, we won't.
We'll probably get like 4 minutes of it, and then they'll be in the bed.
Yeah, they won't do shit with it.
Because I believe we still have to get Aquarius in the love ritual.
Yes. He still has to fuck Aquarius, and there's Taurus left, who's also a lolly.
Mm-hmm.
Mireille, the Libra girl, is like a lawyer, who I like. And Sue, who is Sagittarius.
Sagittarius?
I don't know how to say that. Sagittarius. That one, white-haired lolly. Okay, yeah, so 4 girls left, 3 of them lollies. That's awesome. Which of the girls is your favorite?
Out of the ones that we have seen so far, it would have...
Ones that haven't been ruined
yet. It would probably be Yuzuha. She was fun to be with during her episode.
Right.
I wish there was more development with these characters, because I feel like some of them could be a lot more fun than what they're put out to be in this show.
Yeah. Like, so far, I think Yuzuha is the best character. Best girl character-wise, because she's been spent most time on. She's got anything going for her, but I guess like personality wise, I guess I do like the nurse best now.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be Ari, but then they wrecked her, so now it's nurse.
Yeah. REA was ruined for Colonel. It was unfortunate for him.
The entire impetus behind this show was her.
That was the reason you started the Nutcast, was because of your hype for her, right?
Because I was so hyped for that character, and
they ruined it for you.
And they had to go shit on it. It's like, God damn it, you had me. But yeah,
I know very little about astrology at all, but from what I see in this show, they do have a lot of things that go with the personality traits of these astrology or zodiac signs. Like they play off them well, but it seems like they're like extremely strict on what like I guess what these types personalities are. That there's no leeway at all. So it's like almost forced, and you would never even know it unless you know anything about astrology, which I know very little about.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think I've read somewhere that Pisces tend to be like creative types or whatever, and she's an artist, so that makes sense.
I love that the Gemini ended up being a set of twins, because technically the Gemini is two different stars in the constellations.
Oh, so you think that's like a little attention to detail?
Yeah, they're called. It's called the twin, is what the symbol is called.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be like hot and cold. That's why they have completely different personalities.
Yeah, but they were also both bad.
They were terrible. They were so badly done.
Like Nick said, they're extremes, but like too much.
Yeah, bad extremes.
Yeah, they went a little bit too far. Too meek and too angry. Somehow, I didn't think they were the same voice actor, but they were.
Yeah,
pretty well done.
It was very different. I'll have to hear more of her work, because it was kind of...
Watch Island and watch Grand Blue.
I don't think I want to watch either one of those.
Except don't watch Island. Grand Blue was okay.
It was okay? What did you give Grand Blue?
I don't remember. 6 or 7, I think.
Oh, that's not too bad. I might check it out.
But I'm very generous. I thought it was funny. It's funny sometimes. It's very much alcohol and dick jokes. Which is why Nix hates it. Let me see here. Grand Blue. I also looked up... I gave it a 6. Okay. I looked up the voice actor for the main girl, for the Femiruna girl. And because we always end up on a voice acting tangent in these episodes. Yeah. And for this one, it's like... She's done not a lot and only one main role in Kantai Collection. She hasn't done a single thing I've seen, I think.
I've seen Assassination Classroom, but she plays a supporting character that isn't
and she's
too memorable.
A supporting character in New Game and a supporting character in what was the other one? Log Horizon, second season. I have seen those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's Ymir from Attack on Titan. I have seen that.
Okay.
That's cool. Okay, so she's good. Also noticed that Femiruna has one favorite on Mel. So, the character. Someone likes her.
There's one person out there that enjoys that girl who gets
at least one person.
Stockholm Syndrome.
God.
It was probably...
I hope...
Go ahead.
Like for the first time, I'm hoping to see the score drop for the show. Like, I thought it was kind of rough that it's below 5 and it keeps dropping. But I do think it should probably end up at 4.
Yeah. I wouldn't say any higher than 4. Or sorry, I shouldn't say that. But if it goes past 5 again, I'll probably be a little upset.
I'm expecting it to kind of even out at some point.
Yeah.
Because there's some horrible garbage that has like at least 6.
Oh, that is true.
The general like average on I'd say that on Mel 6.5 is like the actual 5.
Yeah,
like that's
I could agree with that.
Mediocre.
Yeah. Considering you have some of those people who give everything a 10 because anime can't be perfect.
They give everything a 10?
Yeah, I've seen quite a few people whose score is like a 9.8.
Oh, damn. So they just rate everything 10? I don't understand.
And anything that's not a 10 is a 9.
What? Oh, wow.
I've seen a couple of people like that. Had to deny a couple friend requests because I'm not gonna get any knowledge from what you pick up and what you put down.
I do think I'm too generous with scores. Well, especially right after I finish something, so I usually go back like half a year later and adjust.
I usually go back 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks for it to settle for me, and then I'll go back and change my score if I feel like it.
It's like I'll finish a show and be all, oh wow, that was really good. Give it a 7 or 8, and then half a year later I'll be like, oh yeah, I watched that. Why the fuck does it have a 7 or an 8?
It's like I don't even remember half of this.
Don't remember anything. I like this character.
my most recent score that I'm not satisfied with is Hyoka. I just watched it probably a little over a month ago, and I gave it an 8, and I think I want to give it a 9. So I think I need to rewatch it.
Should give it a 10. It's the best show.
It is your favorite.
It is my favorite ever. It's so good.
It's really good, and it actually had the first character that I've really related to in anime, which was very shocking for me because I've not related to anybody.
Which one?
Satoshi.
Yeah, he's very relatable.
Yeah, very relatable character for me. It hit home the very last few episodes with his arc.
Yeah. It's not time to get sad thinking about relatable, depressing characters. Anyway, I think we've talked about most of everything.
If I had anything to add, Sorrow is correct. The best thing about this show is the OP.
Absolutely. It's grown on me a lot, to the point where now I skip the ED because I've had enough of that. I used to say it was amazing, but now I'm kind of sick of it. But I watched the OP.
After my first watch, it was a little too weird for me. I continued to skip it, and I normally don't skip any EDs or OPs. Normally don't, but it's a little weird for me.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on in it.
It might help if I enjoyed the song more. Then I might actually watch it every time. But because I don't particularly like the song, I don't think I'll watch it much more.
Yeah, but I've switched from loving the ED to loving the OP. It's actually pretty good.
Good choice. Nano is a great artist.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about her before. I didn't know it was a girl either until Nix told me.
I actually had no idea that she made anime music until Sorrow asked me if I knew anything on his top 30 OPs.
Oh.
And I say, nice. Nano on there. I'm like, wait, what? She does anime songs?
It's like Aimer doing a lot of EDs and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about Japanese musicians at all, but I do like her. Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool. She did like a live concert thing in Slovakia. The Nix posted with like the Slovakian radio orchestra or something. And it sounds fucking awesome.
Oh, does it?
It's so good. She even does my favorite ED, the one from Koi Ame. Koi wa Ame Akari something. After the Rain, I think is the English name.
You'll have to link it to me so I can check it out.
Fucking love that show. It's from Winter. She does the ED and it's great. Anyway, we're going kind of long here.
Yep.
Do you have anywhere people should go follow you?
I don't use social media like at all, but I am very active on my anime list, so you could put that down there.
I'll go ahead and link that. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for joining me.
And thank you for having me.
And thank you everybody for listening. And have a nice week. See you next time.
Ciao.
Bye.